And I am Anna, and welcome to today's message, The Blessed Chosen Mother. Today I have two verses from Luke. Luke 1:30 and 31. Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. And Luke 1:38. I am the Lord's servant, Mary answered. May your words to me be fulfilled. These verses affirm God's promise and Mary's obedience and willingness to accept and trust God's plan for her. Now, since it was just Mother's Day here in the United States, I was thinking a lot about this. And today I would just like to share a message with you. Now, imagine God choosing you, a teenage woman, a virgin, to immaculately conceive a child who will be the incarnated Jesus. And then to raise your child, learning the significance of knowing who he is progressively throughout your life. She understood that he was the promised Messiah, but truly his mission and identity was not known to her up front. It was revealed gradually to her, especially closer to his death. She learned by watching him through God's words, his miracles, the prophecy, and her own experience. Now, I thought about that for a moment. One story in particular about the story of Jesus missing in the temple for 3 days and how she couldn't find her 12-year-old son. Finally locating him in the temple, sitting among the teachers and asking questions. And I thought about Mary being with her son when he turned water into wine and witnessing that miracle among many others. And then I imagined how she must have felt watching him die such a grueling death. Finally, at the end, truly understanding his sacrifice, her own life, and the ministry that she had been chosen for. And after all that and more, she was still a faithful servant, a sorrow-filled mother, grieving the loss of her child, still devoted and connecting with others, understanding that her love was a sign of God's mercy and that no one is left alone in their sorrow. Now, isn't this how motherhood is? Now, our stories are not the same as hers, no, but truly, isn't she the ultimate role model of a loving mother? Now, we choose to be parents, and even if your child was a surprise child, all children conceived are gifts from God. Now, I can tell you, I personally waited a very long time to find out that I was pregnant with my son. And when I found out that I was overjoyed. You see, God knows our children before we do. And isn't it true that as a mother, we learn more about them as they grow? And is it not our mission to be the best mother that we can be, to protect them, even when we are challenged in motherhood? I mean, I lost my kid once in a Kohl's store. He was hiding underneath a clothes rack, and I nearly lost my mind for 5 minutes. Imagine, after 3 days, I might have become drastic, to be honest. You know, we watch them grow, and we grow with them, which is a true miracle. With all the obstacles the world throws at our children, seeing them become adults and watching them go through trials, knowing that somehow they will get through in faith, and bringing them up to be followers of Christ. And if our child survives, we find a blessing in that too, because we know and feel the pain when our friends' children sometimes go before them. We remain devoted, and we help guide them to God's mercy, making sure they are not alone in their sorrow. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I see a tiny little bit of Mary in all of us. Of course, not how she is, but many similarities. We see motherhood as sacred. We understand the cost of faith, and that saying yes to God does not guarantee our own salvation, nor that of our children, but we trust him all the same. We find joy in unborn children, God's presence, perfection when imperfection rears its ugly head. We find strength in God. We embrace love and loss, and we understand being called requires sacrifice. We try to balance our family and our faith. We provide support. We do our best to be present, And in short, I see us filled with the vulnerability of being human, yet trusting God to give us enough love, faith, and selflessness to see our children through life and through this worldly culture that we have brought them into. Honestly, when I look at motherhood, it is the greatest gift I've ever been given, a sacred gift. And when I look at the Mother Mary, I see her the same, only more. When I see her, I see a woman with a heart full of life and the soul of God's work, an icon for all mothers and all women of faith, a woman of obedience and completely self-sacrificing. I see her as a Christian mother of today's society, the irreplaceable pillar of not only today, but for the future. So if you are a mother and you're hearing me today, well, I want you to know that I see you being courageous, defending life through death and being committed to being the heart of your own home. I see you. I see you as the treasure that you are. And you know, we may not be perfect, but we are strong, wise, and generous, and we love deeply and faithfully. This is the beauty and the tragedy of motherhood, to love until our very death. And in every mother lies a little bit of Mary. So honor yourself for who you are, who you were celebrated for on Mother's Day, a blessed chosen mother with a child that God chose for you. Take the time today to understand your love and to understand your value in being chosen to be a parent by God Himself. In a world where you could be anything, choose to be love. Love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I'll see you tomorrow.